Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. So happy to be here with you all. And today I'm going to be talking about some news that I mentioned briefly on the Dan Wooten Show. And if you didn't catch me on Dan Wooten Outspoken, please go and watch it. It was a really, really good talk that I had with Dan, and brought some insight to some things that I had been talking about, and I'm going to expand on right here. And one of them is the idea, or not the idea, but the information that came out about Harry and Meghan going to Colombia. And this right here is a telltale sign about this marriage, about their finances, about what is going on in their lives. The fact that they are actually going to Colombia says a lot to me. And we're going to talk about it. So let's get into it. This is the story. Harry and Meghan are going to be going to Colombia, but they're one of these bodyguards gives this brutal verdict, is what the headline is, about why Archie and Lily will more than likely not come with them. Now, it says, a lot of times when I mention the children, people give me so much flack about there not being children. Okay, I hear you. I really do. For the sake of just talking about this, because we do see children, and we know there's a lot of just different headlines within the YouTube and other social media communities about these children not existing, I will continue to talk about it until it is an official thing. But I hear you when you say that. And there are concerns. And I have concerns. But we just have to go with what the actual news is reporting, because we don't know anything 100% for sure around these children until we know. Okay, so Archie and Lily likely won't join Harry and Meghan on their trip to Colombia. This is what this ex-bodyguard has suggested. Now, they announced earlier this week that they will be visiting Colombia for another royal tour later this year. Now, this comes after Harry and Meghan made a 3-day tour, we know, of Nigeria without their children going with them. Now, this former royal protection officer, Simon Morgan, raised serious concerns over the security requirements of a trip to Colombia and cast doubt over whether the children will join because of how dangerous it is. And he goes on to say, I don't know if Archie and Lily will go. You would have to assess it and see if it is viable. Now, we're going to get into some things around the trip in general. The general advice is do not go to Colombia. Okay? That's what they generally say. Don't go. Okay? It's a question for the Sussexes right now. Why are they going to Colombia of all places? Just to address that really quickly, the only reason why I believe they are even going to Colombia is because they need money. And just like in Nigeria, the potential to make a lot of money is great for them. The potential to make a lot of money in Colombia is very great. And imagine going to a very dangerous country because your situation, your financial situation is so dire. You have to go to one of the most dangerous places on earth to sustain your living. Do you think they would still be going to to Colombia if things were going well in California? Do you think they would be going to Colombia if they had the money that they need, even this new inheritance money that Harry is going to be getting when he turns 40, which really in the big scheme of things is not a lot of money when you look at how much money they spend on security. They spend as much as Catherine and William spend on their security, which is around £3 million a year. So that's a lot of money. And if you're inheriting 7 million or 8, whatever it is, it's certainly not in the teens. You're going to run through that money very quickly. And this Colombia trip must be giving them a lot of financial gain to go to a place where this security officer has just said the advice about people who are very important or high profile people going to places like Colombia, their advice is don't go. How bad do you need to be financially if you are willing to go to a place where the security people are telling you not to go to? That you are desperate. This is why I talk about this couple not being happy and their marriage is crumbling. It is, we even know one of the biggest causes for divorce in marriages are financial. This is how I feel about Harry and Meghan not really doing well in their relationship, because you can tell that they are not doing well as they need to be doing to live this very plush, high profile life in California, of all places, where it is just uber expensive. They cannot be doing well financially. And that is going to be one of the reasons why this marriage is going downhill, not to mention the other things around Meghan and her narcissism and so consumed with her and not willing to be a person to just give in. You know, it's all about what Meghan wants, and it's all about her sustaining her need that she has. It's not about the accommodation of the loved one when she has to pull back or suffer or just put her own needs aside. She can't do that, because this is why she always loses or doesn't reach out to people that have burned bridges with her. It's so easy for her to just cut things off and never look back, because it's always about her. And at some point, it's going to continue to be about her when Harry is no longer valuable to her. Of course, it's not going to be until he gets his inheritance, but the cracks in the marriage are there, and they are heading on a path where they're not going to be together. And one of the things that we already know is they've already separated their own plans for their own careers. They're no longer really trying to maintain themselves as a couple brand. It is as an individual. This is why Meghan is doing all she's doing around her American Riviera orchard. They're going to Colombia together because they have to. They have to, because this is why they need the money, and they will risk everything to go, because that's how bad it is. Now, they go on to say in this article that the children did not come with them when they went on their trip to Nigeria, and they did not go when Harry went to the UK for the Invictus Games 10th anniversary in May. Of course, because Meghan's not going to allow that. She's never going to allow Harry to travel alone with those children. That's never going to happen. Harry and Meghan have been trying to overstep their boundaries to appear like they're royal. This is why Harry and Meghan even going on any trips as a royal ex-couple in terms of being with the monarchy or part of the monarchy is not good for the monarchy, because you know that the king is ill, you know that Catherine is ill, but you are trying to increase your profile on a global stage because you're trying to overstep boundaries to expose yourselves as royals, while the real royals are not able to do this kind of traveling because of their health. So this is intentional. Okay, there's a lot behind every move that Harry and Meghan make. It's never because we're here to help the people. We're here to get the word out about cyberbullying. We're here to do this. We're here to do that. There's always this reason that is not what you see or hear them speak with the words that coming out their mouths. That's not why they're doing it. There's always these undercut reasons that are behind it to help enrich themselves. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you in a second here about Farc, this organization that, to me, they're crazy for going to Colombia. Let me just say it. Okay, they're insane. But when you need the money, what do? Morgan suggested that Harry and Meghan's security in Colombia would involve input from the country's military, law enforcement, and intelligence agencies. The former Metropolitan Police officer who worked with the royal family for 7 years said that this is because the Sussexes were invited by the Colombian government. Now, I heard other stories that they weren't invited, that they actually are trying to get into other countries, but they were turned down. Colombia extended the invitation, I believe, because they said, can we come to your country and you pay us some money? Because we almost broke. We need it, so they like trying to get into these countries to visit as high profile royals to help these countries, which in turn they want to be paid for it, like using their royal status to make money, things that they should not have been doing because the Queen told them not to. But yet Meghan's going to do it, because we know she's the one that is ruling Harry and telling him what they are going to do, what they have to do. Colombia's Vice President, Francia Marquez, invited them to the capital, Bogota, where they are expected to focus on cyberbullying, online exploitation, and mental health. Now, however, Britain and the U.S. advise against travel to Colombia, with the U.K.'s Foreign Office warning travelers that terrorists are very likely to try and carry out attacks, noting there is a high threat to British interests and nationals. I mean, and you are complaining about security as we speak, and now you are putting yourself in harm's way, where they are telling you don't go there, and you're going to go there? Are you serious? Times must be really hard financially. Morgan also said that Colombia is a complex environment. It's beautiful, but also extremely brutal. From a security perspective, it's an extremely challenging environment because of the nature, not just of drug cartels in and around Colombia, but also some of the far left terrorism. Kidnap, murder, exploitation are very common currency, even in Bogota, where they're going. He suggested groups opposed to the Colombian government may try to upset the Sussexes' trip in some way in a bid to embarrass the country's leaders at a time when greater attention will be on Colombia due to Harry and Meghan being there. And you almost have to think, when they go, what are they doing? Who are they talking to? Are they talking about things and exposing things about the British monarchy to the government of Colombia? Are they rogue in terms of perhaps maybe throwing their royal relatives, family under a bus when they go to Colombia? What is the reason? Because it doesn't make sense that you're going there. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, Farc. This is what we need to know about Farc. Because this right here tells me everything I need to know. Not just hearing a foreign national saying don't go to Colombia. But this is who Farc is. So Farc, this is the Revolutionary Army Forces of Colombia, FARC. After the initials in Spanish, are Colombia's largest rebel group. Their main founders were small farmers and land workers who had banded together to fight against the staggering levels of inequality in Colombia at the time. While Farc have some urban groups, they have always been an overwhelmingly rural guerrilla organization. They were basically formed during a very brutal, repressive time against things that were happening in the country at the time. Colombia has historically been a country which suffers from huge levels of inequality, where vast swaths of land are owned by a very small elite. Now, this is the thing. Harry and Meghan are going to a country that is extremely poor, and I think the majority of the people there are really concerned about the basic necessities of life. And Harry and Meghan going over there and talking about cyberbullying and mental health and these things when people are trying to eat, I just don't see how this is going to translate into a good reason for you going to Colombia. Okay, not only that, but this organization, Farc, from my understanding, you're looking at an armed force that is huge. They are as big as the government's militia or the government's soldiers. You talk about being protected. You could easily be overtaken and overpowered by Farc within the country, thinking that you're being protected by the government's military people. That's not protection when you can easily be overtaken by the Farc. Like, this is one of those things that, if they have relations with people that are, what if they're hired? I mean, we know Harry's got a hit on him for what he said in his book, Spare, and he could easily be putting himself in harm's way while trying to make it look like he's there to do some good. There could be other profile people who are very against Harry for what he said in his book Spare, that could try to take advantage and hire Farc to come take you out. And he might be saying that also to as a message to the king, that I'm going to put myself in danger if you don't give me my security when I want it, because we know he has the security that he needs. He's just being a petulant child and wanting to get the armed security whenever he wants it. But he can have that high level protection when he comes to the UK. He just has to put in an advance notice to get it. So it's not what he's making people believe, that he doesn't have the security when he goes to the UK. He does. But I think he could be blackmailing his father that I'm going to go to one of the most dangerous countries to maybe get myself, in a big, maybe being kidnapped and tortured, even worse, unalived, because you're not giving me security. I have to go to this country to make money because you're not giving me the security that I need. I mean, whatever this ludicrous reason could be that Harry might be saying, I think it's also a message to the king why they are going to Colombia. So my whole thing is Harry and Meghan are in a position now where they are desperately trying to keep their lifestyle and maintain it, and also trying to build their profile in other countries to have people look at them as royal. The reasons that they're given to go over there, I don't think are of concern to the people that are in that country. They have other more important needs that they need support with, not the things that Harry and Meghan are trying to come over there with. And I think that they're going to be in a lot of danger, because this is one of the things that you need to understand. The main enemy of Farc has been the Colombian security forces, Farc. Their main enemy, or who they have been known to attack, are the police stations and the military posts, and they have ambushed patrols. Like, they have been known to overtake the security of the country. So who do you think is going to be helping Harry and Meghan with their security? The government. Do you think you would feel safe if the Colombian government were protecting you, knowing that Farc has been known to attack the government and are able to overtake the government in your little security patrol when you over there smiling, thinking you over there trying to be royal, trying to get your money, trying to get paid, and your little bobby head over there smiling like you are royalty and not really understanding the true danger you are in over there. This is serious, folks. This is very serious and sad, because you have to be extremely desperate to take your high profile life and what people have already put a fatwa out on you. We know for Harry and what he said in his book Spare, like, you have enemies and you're going to a country that even average Joe Schmo nobodies like myself and others should not even go to, and you're going to go with your big profile self, trying to be all that as a royal, smiling, trying to get all up in the cameras in Colombia. We in Colombia, strutting around while in danger. Like, do you really have kids? Because I know I wouldn't want my children to have to be put in a situation where both of their parents are in danger. Like, one of y'all can't stay back. How serious is this if both of you have to go to Colombia? No, something don't seem right here, folks. Something definitely is not passing the smell test with me. We'll have to keep our eyes out on this one. We know more is to come, but the news of them going to Colombia is just not sitting right. And I think there is some shadiness going on. And I think part of it is the desperation, the need to make money and to harm the king and to make him stress over Harry being in danger. There's just a lot going on here. And it's not for the reasons that Harry and Meghan are telling us. I don't believe that. No. So we'll see. All right. So thanks so much for being here. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to support my channel so that whenever I put out a video, you will be notified. And also remember, I am on Patreon and I have member videos that I am posting about my time in Europe and Germany. It's going to be so much fun to see all the behind the scenes of my time here in England. Well, actually, I was in Boston first, then I was in England, and now I'm in Germany. So lots of content I'll be posting on my members. So if you want to see a little bit behind the scenes of my personal life, my comings and goings, my thoughts, check out my Patreon and my YouTube members channel, whichever one you prefer. All right. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.